She is kidnapped. She is the real victim here. That's what I think. Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. I know. Why are you never posting? Why are you never here? Girl, I can't remember anything. But, we're talking about Don't Worry, Darling today, a movie that came out months ago that I've been wanting to talk about for months. And your girl can't remember to sit down and record about it. So today, we're talking about conspiracy theories, all the loose ends, everything that I think these are all my theories. I know Don't Worry Darling was kind of a confusing movie to most, and so it got a bad rap. People didn't like it, I think, because it was confusing. But let me tell you right now, after I go through all of my theories, you're gonna love it, because I had thoughts and I was like, I don't know. I watched this movie twice in the theater. I think maybe 3 times in the theater, because I was so like, I want to figure this shit out. Something's going on here. So, obviously, spoilers. Now, one thing that I still don't understand is why, if everything's a simulation, right? Then why did they have to go through the process of electrocuting her brain, like old-fashioned style? Like, why did they have to do that? Couldn't they have just reset her? Obviously, when they reset her in the system, it didn't work. So I don't know if they, the act of the simulation electrocuting her brain actually made it possible to electrocute her brain, to reset it in some way. I don't know. That's the thing that I'm still not 100% sure on. But other than that, the stupid symbol thing of the eye, the city's eye, where is it? It's when they were first riding on the trolley. It was during this scene, we're seeing the city. Where is the eyeballs? Okay, I'm gonna just draw it because I can't find it. I don't know if you remember from the movie. The Victory Project flag thing looked like this. Okay? It looked like a stupid little symbol. It's in the shot where they're riding on the trolley and you see the city and there's a boulevard and this is the trolleys moving. There's this flag that's like this. Okay? The flag it's literally the eyeballs. It's symbolism of their eyes being pulled open, because it's you have your eyelids, I can't see, your eyelids or whatever, and then this is the contraption pulling your eye apart. That's what that is. It's such a detailed movie and I love it. That's a really good detail. I like it. And I don't know if y'all remember, but when they're at I don't even remember the bad guy's name. When they're at Chris Pine's house, I know the actor's name because I love Chris Pine. When they're at Chris Pine's house and they're saying, what is the destruction of the world? And they say chaos. Okay? That seemed like a thing, and they're like, what are we doing? We're saving the world. That's what we're doing. I don't know. It's weird that these pictures aren't out, because you would think that this is the most important stuff. That's not really a good picture. I don't think that's a picture from the movie. But so, in the movie, Harry Styles has a British accent in his character, right? Real life, him is American. He does not have a British accent. And in real life, while Alice, the character Alice, is strapped to this bed and under the simulation with her eyeballs all weird, Um, he is eating canned tuna fish every day because he needs to eat to survive, which I don't know if you remember at the beginning of the movie when she was like, oh, I was gonna make tuna fish, and he was like, oh no, Frank, that's the bad guy's name. She's like, he said Frank hates tuna. I bet Frank doesn't even mind tuna because nothing's real in that place. It's because the Harry Styles characters having to eat canned tuna every day to survive because all the money is going to rent, and then he's having to stay in the simulation. So that was a side note. What was the main point that I was trying to get across? Oh, so before they go in the simulation, you see the Alice character come home from a long day of work, and Harry Styles pauses his recording, right? And it's a recording of real life Frank talking. And it's like a YouTube video. I couldn't find it, the picture. The YouTube video, because it's like kind of like in the corner of my thing over here, it says like react with as it is or whatever, or depending on what I'm doing. It doesn't show Frank's face, so Frank could look totally different. Frank could be ugly as sin. He may not even look like Chris Pine. You just hear his voice, and it doesn't say the Victory Project like it does in the simulation. It says organized chaos, which is very interesting because when they were at Frank's house for that party, remember, they went on a whole spiel about how what destroys the world? Chaos. And that's Frank's whole thing, is organized chaos is the Victory Project. Dun, dun, dun. Back to the Victory Project. Let me see. Mirrors are very interesting in this movie, because they say, like, you know, your eyes are the window to the soul. They say that. That's a saying, which is interesting that they chose that for the simulation, to like put basically the simulation over the windows to your soul so you can't see reality. I think that's kind of cool. So we see that when she's here and she's cleaning and she's kind of like breaking out of the thought process, she's realizing something's not right. The window is closing in on her. And when she's taking a bath, like, her body goes underwater, but her reflection's still there in the mirror. I think that's imagery of her brain is trying to understand and see past the simulation, that something's right in front of my eyes. Something's covering my eyes. I had this window covering my eyes. When she goes to go down in the bath, her brain's like, I know that my body went down this bath, but the reflection's still there, because it's like I can still see everything that's going around because I'm not actually in a bath. And after she escapes the first time by accident, and she puts her face against the window, that's how she escapes, because this is the only window that you escape through. It's the only window to the soul, the way out of the system, right? So that's why I think it's very interesting that, like, you know, later she's having the other windows break in on her. But I don't know if y'all remember, she wakes up in the middle of the night up against the window that she usually cleans every day. And I think it's because her mind was, again, trying to escape, but wasn't at the correct window. Theory. Okay? Also, it's just, like, super cool. It's, like, really, I think it's not given enough credit. Maybe people haven't looked into it enough, but I'm like, there is so much going on here. Yeah, like, she's This is when she's escaping the first time, and her face is against the window. And then later, when she wakes up in the middle of the night, she's up against the window, her brain is trying to escape. Oh, let me just say that in my theory head, I think originally Alice was not restrained to the bed. I think that was a new development, okay? I don't think that she had always been restrained. I think after she escaped this first time, because we see a flash of her feet being dragged on the ground, I think that is when, I remember his name, Harry Styles, put restraints on her just in case she escaped again. That's my thought. But speaking of Harry Styles and how his British accent in the simulation was fake, and the doctor called him out, he was like, "What do you Brits say?" You know, that was very pointed, because I think only Frank and the doctor knows everyone's real status. Okay, speaking of status and how you can make up things in this simulation, I'm about to throw the biggest curveball, my biggest theory out there. Because when we're going through the whole thing, we are introduced to Violet here, who, I don't know if you've noticed this, only wears purple. Violet only wears purple. That's kind of weird. Your name is your whole personality. Seems kind of strange. And when this new guy, gets to Harry's house, Harry Styles' house, he's like, "Oh, wow, how do you have this record player set up? I just have a bench. Like, I just have the basic model. I didn't do this." Harry Styles, when he was planning this whole thing to, put Alice in a simulation, he spent meticulous time picking everything out, right? He picked out Alice's dress, the pink dress for the party. We know that, because he said, "I picked it out for you a couple weeks ago." I think Harry Styles' character is very meticulous, picks everything out, okay? We'll come back to the party. This guy, I don't think he picked anything out. I think it was very rushed, because I believe Violet is kidnapped. I think he kidnapped a stranger who ended up being Violet, named her Violet, had her wear purple because he doesn't know anything about her personality or what she would like to wear. The only time we see Violet have any personality is when they're having that dinner party at Alice's house, and she's gossiping with the lady that's always pregnant. She's like, "I told you." That's the only time we see her with any real personality, is when she's not with this man. In this simulation, when you're uploading people, you can pretend that you're British. Harry Styles said that he had a previous relationship with Alice. And asked, "Do you have a previous relationship with this person?" He said yes. He's a previous existing relationship with Alice. Which to me shows you could not have a previous relationship with the person that you're bringing in, the woman you're bringing in, right? But everybody's given a fake backstory anyways. It doesn't even matter if you do have a previous relationship with that person. Violet is the real victim here. I know we're all like, "Oh, Alice, that's terrible." In the whole situation, every woman in there is a victim. But Violet, I think she's the real victim, because she's the only real character that we see that has no personality. Except that one time she's gossiping. No personality, bland as shit. Her name is Violet, and she only wears purple. That's like wallpaper of a person, okay? She is kidnapped. She is the real victim here. That's what I think. Back to the party, where we have this fancy lady doing her thing, right? This lady, she's one of the original people. So, like the doctor, who knows everything about everybody. This lady, I believe, is also someone who could know everything about everybody, because she is in the real life dance that they use to put everyone in a hypnosis state. So all the women that were in that original dance, I think there were some of the original women in the Victory Project, in the Organized Chaos Project. Now, speaking onto this, Harry Styles is dancing like this, and everyone was like, that's really weird. Why is he dancing like this? It looks really stupid. Bitch, it's not. The whole point is that he's proving to Frank that he will give Frank complete control of his body. Which also shows that within this whole simulation, no one has any control at all. This false narrative of, oh, Frank, I'm giving you complete control, because Harry Styles is dancing like a marionette puppet. And with the hands and the way he's moving, and then Frank says, I think it's right in this scene, like in the corner, Frank says, turn him around, turn him around. Then Harry turns around in a circle. He's a marionette puppet. He's not out of control. Frank has control. That's the point. This whole simulation, they think that they're going in there and they're changing the world. The men have free will, and it's all this. They don't. They're under complete control. And this embarrassing dance that Harry Styles is doing in order to get the ring, be part of the club, is to show that, yes, Frank, I'm willing to give you complete control of me to be in your little boys club, which is very ironic and sad for Harry to think he ever had control of himself in the first place when he's in this simulation. Very tragic. Now, something I still don't fully understand is this. Because I don't think that this is really... Oh my god, what was her name? Melissa or something? She was cut from Don't Worry Darling? Interesting. I don't remember her name, her character's name. But I don't think Alice is actually seeing this character in real life. I think because Alice has a background as a doctor, I think she was seeing warning signs from previous interactions with this character, and her mind was trying to understand what was going on. And so, since her mind is trying to understand this, but her mind doesn't remember being a doctor, this is my opinion, I think her mind was hallucinating, like trying to get through that this character may be suicidal. Oh, crap. That's what this scene is. She runs, she finds her, and then this character, she like cuts her throat, throws herself off a balcony. I think that's traumatic, and I think that was the break that she needed to break away from this system even more, because her brain was trying to compartmentalize everything, but it was already doing that so much because of the simulation that it's like, nope, we're breaking out. We can't do this. This simulation's falling apart. Our brain is not going to handle it. It's also super sad that because she went out, this character, I still remember her name, because she went out where she was supposed to go with her kid, they took her kid away. because the kids are fake. They're part of the simulation, right? So they took her kid away as a punishment. We see this red plane. This is the plane that the kid played with, right? And then she sees a red plane in the sky. And while it's in the sky and she's looking up, there's like this weird like warping thing that we see. So like initially I thought, oh, we're in a dome. That's what this is. No. I think her brain was trying to understand, because at this point she was already feeling bad for her friend who had lost her kid. I think they'd already talked about that friend's situation at that point. And that's when we had originally been introduced to the plane. And if this red plane is iconic with the kid, then the red plane is on her brain. She's thinking about her friend. And this is the glitching thing that I'm talking about. Like, it's going straight and then it like dips because it's warping. She's just looking up in the sky and she sees this red plane. I don't think it's actually a plane. If you remember from the simulation where they're holding the eyes open, it's red lines. It's a hue of red lasers that go back and forth across the eyeballs. I think that's what she's seeing. And her brain is trying so hard to process and understand the things outside of the simulation. Because if she's really concerned about her friend at this point, she's a doctor, she has his background, she should understand the warning signs of like a depressed person. Her brain is trying to process this to basically like be a better friend, and then she looks up at the sky just to look, and her brain is already on overdrive trying to understand things, and it's like, what are these red lines? These are are these like the red plane that her kid had? Like, the brain's trying to understand and just sees it as that. And the warping, I think, is her focusing on the red moving from like one eye to another as it's moving. Those are my thoughts. Those are my theories. Let me know down below if you agree or you disagree, what your thoughts are on the movie. This is what I thought. I think these are all of my theories for the movie. I think it was beautiful. I think it was great. Oh, Frank's wife. Like, why did she stab him? You know? If we're assuming that the women that were in the original, like, hypnosis setup thing, like that dance, then I'm assuming Frank's wife was there the whole time. Maybe she was just playing the long game, you know? Like, this was her whole plan all along. She's been there since the beginning. So, these are all my thoughts. Let me know what you think down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!